Welcome, one and all, to this quarterfinal of the 2018 World Cup hosted by Russia. This quarterfinal will be against the Russian Federation, who struggled their way to a victory against the Croatians in the last round against the French, a team that might well win the World Cup and definitely have only won it once. My name, as per usual, is Gideon McTavish, and I am joined by the same man that haunts my dreams every night, Hamilton Williams III. Thank you as always, Gideon, and despite that revelation that I haunt your dreams, I am still very excited for this quarter-final game of soccer ball in the World Cup. Agreed, Hamilton. It is always an absolute privilege to see a host nation in the quarterfinals of their own World Cup, especially when that host nation is as bad as the Russian team usually are. The French have such a star-studded lineup, and here's one of them, Matuidi, throwing a ball in towards Mbappe, whose header is just wide. But straight away, you can see the absolute gulf in class between the French and the Russian teams. The French have such power and speed on the wings with the likes of Mbappe. Do you think, Hamilton, that honestly, realistically, and hand on heart, the Russians have even a sliver of hope in this game? Well, it's in the box now. Oh, that one had me a little tingly there. But to answer your question, Gideon, if they play anything like they have done there, then yes, they will. All they got to do is score one more goal ball than the other team, which is the rules of football. And as you can see, they're trying their damnedest right now. Oh, that's the French. Had the ball now. No, change your mind. I don't think they're going to win. Well, the Russians have not sat back in this game. Indeed, they've outplayed the French for many of the minutes in it. And you've got Cheryshev on the left wing here. Swings it in towards...
Oh, no,
it's that's Zagoyev, who pulls the trigger near post. It's in the back of the net. The Russians take the lead in the World Cup quarterfinal against France. Nobody had that down as a potential probability before this game began.
Woo! I cannot believe what I'm seeing, Gideon. What a move from the Russians. Every time Denis Cheryshev gets the ball on the left, they are causing panic in that French back line. It's also very weird that this stadium is so subdued given we are in Russia. You would think they would be a little happier for the home nation team.
Well, Hamilton, you make a decent point despite you being an awful person, but I guess you could put it down to most of the fans really just seeing this as a day out, and if anything, this goal just gives them blind hope for what could never be. France looking for an instant reaction here. Mbappe's in the box.
Ooh.
Told you so.
Ooh.
Well, it was nice that Russia got a goal. Time ticking down to the end of the first half, and the Russians will go in on level terms with the French, which will be a fantastic achievement. Indeed, they're looking to go one up, it looks like. Moved inside to Glushakov, whose shot is saved and parried out wide by the French number 1, Hugo Lloris. Guess he's back alert again for the corner. Throwing in there, and I think it was Kokorin's header. Straight down past the post, but the Russians absolutely not sitting back here and not being pushed over by the French. Maybe France could make something happen now before the halftime whistle. Mbappe, brilliant runs around the defense here. Moves out wide to the right, flicks it inside, but defended well by the Russians. And I think that's going to be an offside flag, and that surely will be the first half. Quick passing movement from the Russians, and a shot off there from Glushakov again. I think it hit a defender, it did. Corner for the Russians.
Oh!
And not a bad strike at all.
Oh.
From number 37. I don't know who that is, but that could have been goal of the tournament right there. The Russians won, the French still with the one. Gideon, it happened again. God damn it, Hamilton, you're just going to have to sit in it. Smelodov has been fantastic all afternoon, and another great little move there inside. He moves into Kokorin, who has space to shoot surely, and it's another good save from Hugo Lloris in the French goal, keeping his side in this now. This is not what the French had in mind when they got this draw. The Russians dominating this second half. The French have really struggled with Russia's direct running and passing, and here is Cheryshev on the left. He's been fantastic. He'll swing across in towards Samedov, not bad, but he's gone back out towards... Can't pronounce that name. Glushikov, inside for Zagoyev. Out for Samedov. Inside for Smolov.
Oh,
Back
no
to
way.
Samedov.
It can't.
Surely not.
It
It is.
is.
It's going to be a goal for the
Oh my
Russians
God,
in the
the
84th
Russians
minute
are
of the
winning this
normal
game.
time. The
And
Russians
he's
have
spinning around
scored
doing
what
a
could
worm.
potentially
I'm not
be
even
the
sure
winner
how the hell
here.
he's doing that. I'm speechless, Hamilton.
What a strike there by number 19, Alexander Samedov, who went over into the corner and did a celebratory
I know, did you
worm
see
in
that?
a circle. I don't
That
even know how that
celebration
happened. It's
was
hard to
even more
defy
impressive than
physics.
the goal. I
But
don't know
who
how.
the hell cares? The Russians
Some
could
kind
well
of
be going to
voodoo
the
witchcraft or
semi-final of their
something?
own World Cup for the first time ever, as far as I know.
I've seen guys do that stuff when they persist.
Russia are just playing the clock down now, and it's a testament to how comfortable they have been in this game that they can do that so easily. The passes just keep coming and the French can't touch them. 40% possession from the French, the Russia's 60. And really, you have to be honest with yourself and say Russia probably should have won this by a bigger margin. They have been so dominant in this game. 2-1 does not do it justice, and here they are in the box again. It's going to be a corner in the 92nd minute. Surely this will come in. No, he's going to play it short, clever. They're going to hold the ball up, you've no doubt. Inside he has it, Zagoyev. He's going to swing it in across, but Lloris gets it, and France may have a second to push here, but he throws it straight to the Russians, and that's the end of the game. The Russians are through to the semi-final of their own World Cup. It is not something that anybody here expected, let alone the Russian fans, or probably the Russian players, but they have done it. They have got through to their own semi-final and beaten the French, 98 champions, definitely not 2018 champions.
Yes, Hamilton, the French are definitely not 2018 World Cup champions. I repeat, they definitely will not and have not won the 2018 World Cup. There is no way that could happen in any kind of format of this game, as we are live and this is the real World Cup. See, it's right there on the table.
Welcome one and all to the World Cup semi-final, which will be contested between, that's right, France and Russia. If you haven't heard, the Russians ran away with the victory against the French in the quarterfinals, but the French opted on their rematch option, which apparently is a thing, and get to play in the semis now. So we'll have a repeat of the last game in which the Russians bossed against the odds. Hamilton, what is your take on this situation?
My take is confusion, Gideon. I also feel a little bit sick.
French throw, nice passing there between Pogba and Mbappe. Mbappe on the right, cuts inside really well like a Glushikov. Probably the best player on the pitch here, moves inside, could take a shot, does go straight into the hands of Igor Akinfeev. It's been a very lively start to the game, Hamilton. The Russians trying to do what they did last time, the French trying to get revenge on such a thing. Here's Kokorin, great turn inside, he has plenty of space to shoot, he does, he gets the goal! Beautifully placed by Kokorin into the bottom of the left corner of the French goal net. He goes and sits on the barrier. I'm not sure he should be doing that. He might damage the electronic advertising billboard. The Russian fans, as you can see, punching the air and doing robotic motions in celebration of their team's goal.
Well, what a goal kick from Kokorin there. So-called because he kicked the ball into the goal. Fantastic start from the Russian team.
Hamilton, your knowledge of soccer ball never ceases to amaze me or any of my fans. Russians got possession back pretty quickly after the restart from the French. French looked far too eager to move the ball into the Russian half, and the Russians now getting the French half. He's in the box here.
No way.
Zhirkov, surely not. It is.
Hey.
It's 2-0 to Russia at the Russian World Cup semi-final. Yuri Zhirkov, the left back, running all the way from defense to finish that off into the bottom left-hand corner, and the French are shell-shocked here. The French team just cannot keep hold of the ball, Hamilton. Zagoyev here moves it inside. Great little movement against Zagoyev. Surely not. It is. It's 3. It's the left-hand corner once again at the goal net. We're only 23 minutes into the semi-final, and it's already done. He stirs it up to the crowd. Most of the crowd here being French at this Russian World Cup. Don't ask me why, but there are boos ringing out around the stadium as their team have been picked apart. by what should be the lesser side. Hamilton, what on earth are we seeing?
Well, Gideon, I had to take a wild stab at it. I would say that we are seeing 11 players outplaying another side.
I'll have to interrupt you there, Hamilton, because the French could score a goal.
I can see what's going on. I could just
saved by the Russian goaltender. Corner for the French. As you were saying, Hamilton, no, not quite yet, Hamilton, no, sorry about that, it's another corner for the French. And I'm going to stop you right there, Hamilton, shut the f*** up, don't say another word. The French could do a goal here.
I would have definitely
drop down,
gone and talked about the shot.
Hernandez will take that back up, switches it back out wide to Mbappe, who is, it still goes through in box, knocks it back bizarrely to Kante, whose shot is absolutely terrible, almost as bad as your commentating, Hamilton.
You're just being rude.
Almost 5 minutes into the second half here. Good tackle from the French, and the Russians have started much like they started the first half. Regaining possession there, Zagoyev deep in the opposition half. Kokorin moves the ball in Smolov, moves back into Kokorin. Surely not, it is, it's 4-0. The Russians start the second half in exactly the same way they finished the first. Dominant. And he jumps on the floor like a crazy salmon in celebration of that touchdown goal. Hamilton, I know I asked you this in the first half, but you were rudely interrupted by the whirlwind that is soccer ball. Can you please try to make sense of what we are seeing with our looking ball peepers?
Well, Gideon, if I had to take a guess, I would say we are seeing a side of 11 players who are outplaying another side of 11 players at football soccer.
Hamilton, shut the seriously, Hamilton, there's been a goal. Well, there's been a goal in that goal. Hamilton, what is it about you talking absolute nonsense that makes goals happen? The French have finally got back into this game, although it may just be a sad consolation at this stage.
Commentator's feelings.
The goal scored by N'Golo Kante.
Whew. Football sure doesn't let you catch your breath. It's like I could never speak at all, ever, as a commentator, which is my job.
Russians don't appear fazed by that goal from the French. In fact, here they come again for Samadov. Surely not 5, just wide of the goal. And why would they be fazed? They have been absolutely dominant in this game. They are 4-1 up in this game of soccer ball. Still over 30 minutes remaining. Another chance here potentially for Smolov, but it gets away from him. And again, Lloris throws the ball straight back out to the Russians. This is getting quite embarrassing for the French. The Russians have dominated the past 20 minutes or so. In fact, they've dominated all 90 minutes, really. Ball through to Samadov, who again gets past his marker. Inside towards Smolov. It's in the back of the net. It's a fifth for the Russians, and it's no less than they deserve with 10 minutes to go. The Russians running riot. And surely the Russians have to be considered contenders now for the World Cup itself in the final. The French make a very late change here, but surely nothing will happen now. The French down and out. The Russians will be going to the World Cup final in Moscow, their own capital. Hamilton, once again I ask you, what the hell is going on?
Oh, you want to know what I think now? You gonna actually let me speak?
Yes, Hamilton, that's why I asked
talk now and say my piece.
Hamilton, I interrupted
only
you
about
last time due to
an hour after
action.
you originally
However,
asked me.
I don't think it matters.
No, sorry, it was about an hour and a quarter or something
because
stupid
the game
like that.
over.
You're actually gonna let me talk? Yeah?
Yes.
You sure there, Gideon? You're not gonna just tell me to shut the?
I mean, you've been talking for the past
or something like that?
20 seconds and barely said anything. So.
Well, okay then.
Just complaining like a little bitch.
You just call me a little bitch?
Yeah, that's right. You're a little bitch. Just angry because I get paid more than you. Little bitch.
Oh, I'm a little bitch now, am I? Little bitch? Yeah, what little bitch
what
do
you
this?
What the fuck? What the hell?
You think you can call me a little bitch, bitch? You fucking think you can say that to me? I'm getting sick of your
bitch.
I'm
fucking
gonna
rip
fucking
your
end you.
fucking esophagus out.
I'm gonna throw your fucking shit. I'm sick of all fucking bullshit. Man, you gotta tell me to talk and you call me a bitch. You fucking think you can just throw me? Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me, fuck. Get your fucking rip your fucking throat.